Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ayush and you're watching the Indian Dev. So guys, this is the fourth part of this WhatsApp clone series, and this WhatsApp clone is a full stack project where we are building the front end with React and back end with the Node.js, and the database is going to be MongoDB. I know like it's a bit late. It's been a lot of time that I haven't posted any video on this channel, the Indian Dev, but due to some office deliverables and some work, I was not able to post the videos. And yeah, I had some travel plans as well, and out of my interest I just created a channel for my traveling and my personal life kind of stuff. So if you guys are interested in that, you can consider subscribing to my personal channel. That is you can find the link of that channel on my this Indian Dev. And apart from that, if you guys are on Instagram, you can follow me over Instagram. Now without wasting any time, I just wanted to convey that what is the motivation behind creating the fourth part. It's been a lot of time. Sometimes I thought about it, but the motivation is directly coming from you guys. Like, you have commented about the videos itself. Like, the WhatsApp clone is having a lot of comments, but yeah, I just received this message that this is something different and people are appreciating my work. So that's the motivation behind creating the content again. So yes, without wasting any time, what we can do is we can simply go back to our WhatsApp clone project. So lastly, what we have done is if we can have a look on the videos, the first part was fully focused on the front end. So we have built this front end kind of stuff where I can I can see the contact list and I can chat with the user. Okay, but that was not integrated with the backend. So in the second video, we designed backend of WhatsApp clone. What can be the minimal structure for the WhatsApp clone that we have defined in the second part. And in the third part, we actually built the APIs from scratch in the Node.js. So all the APIs we have created. And yeah, if you guys haven't watched these three videos, then please consider watching these videos. Now if I can recommend you the repository, so this is the repository where I am keeping all the code. The client side code, I mean the React code and the Node.js code is in the same repository, so that we can we can find everything at one place. Moving back to the project, so in the project we are having client and server structure, and lastly we just built these APIs. This is for creating the user, login user, creating the channel. Channel is something we called it like this. If the Indian Dev is talking to this guy Ayush, then a channel needs to be created. So the API for channel creation is there. Channel list is the list which is rendering over there. So that is channel list. Other than that, search user is there, because if I'm using this for the first time, no user will be there in my directory and we are not connecting it with the contact list or any contact API. So we can search the user from here itself. And other than that, we are having a message API which will be responsible for sending message from one user to another user in a defined channel. Okay, so everything is there. Everything is, the validation is there, the DB call and the DB methods are there. So APIs are developed. Now what improvements architecture wise we can do is we have this create user and the login user, but what I wanted is instead of keeping the user's data in our DB, what we can do is we can simply use Google login, so that all the basic information of a user we can get from the Google login or Google sign in, because by that we will be receiving the email ID of the user, the name of the user and the profile picture of the user, so that every user will have different profile picture and the name and the email ID. So for that, what I will recommend is I just identified a library, React Google Login. The link of this library you can find in the description box. And apart from that, if you can have a look, this is a pretty much popular library and the trusted library, I guess. So here I can suggest one thing. If you are going to use any library, just look at the weekly downloads, that how much popularity this library is having. Depending on that, you can simply try this library. So I just tried this library, and for login, what I've done is, instead of right now, this is the landing page of this application, right? So instead of that, what I will be doing is I will be creating a UI for sign in. Okay, from where I can sign in from Google, and then after I'll be on this UI. So that UI, if I can show you, yeah, it will look like this. This is similar to a WhatsApp landing page, where you just you can see the QR code, and by scanning that QR code, you are automatically signed into the WhatsApp. But in our WhatsApp clone, what we will be doing, we will be having the sign in with Google. So if I will click on this button, then I will be able to log in into my account, and then only I will be able to see the home page or the main main screen of the WhatsApp. So for that, the requirements are, we need to add this library, and if you will go through the documentation of this library, you will see that we need a client ID. Okay, so this is the component Google login, and everything is normal, but we just need to find this client ID from Google. Okay, so for that, what we need to do is, we just need to go to Google Cloud. So the link of that site you will find in the description box. Now if I can go to that, yeah, so Google Cloud console is there. I have just opened this console. Oh, so if you are new to this console, then you just need to like switch it with your account. And yeah, right now I have created this WhatsApp clone project here. So if there is no project, you just need to create a project. Otherwise, if you are like selected any other project, you just need to go to this section, and you just need to click on new project, and here you can define your project like this, and you can simply create the project. I'll not create the project because I am already having the project, and after that you will not see any kind of credentials here. So for that, what you need to do is, you just need to go to credentials section and just click on create credentials, and there you will see OAuth client ID. OAuth is something related to authentication, so we just need to create this kind of credential. I'll click on this, and the application type is definitely web application. For the WhatsApp clone, we can name the application, and this is for use with request from a browser, like from which URL you will be calling the auth method of Google. So for that, I can show you my own this WhatsApp clone client ID. So client ID is available here, and for the configuration you can refer to this. I just added my localhost 3000 so that I can call the sign in from my local host. Yeah, that's it. You can save the client ID, and you just need to copy this client ID in order to implement the Google sign in. So if we can test, so right now it is showing the authentication error because we don't have a localhost 3001 in the credentials. So if I can add and then check, yeah, add URI 3001. Okay, I need to save. It is saved. Now if I can click on this, okay, now I have everything. Yeah, now you can see that I am logged in with this user, and the profile picture from Google is visible here. So everything is sorted. What we need to do is, if I can simply refresh this, as of now, we just need to create this kind of UI for the login. So for that, what I'll be doing is, I'll be going inside this client, and if I can close this file in the client, as of now we are having these components and the app folder. But what I was thinking is, initially it should go to a login component. Okay, I'll be creating a new module or a folder named as modules. So here we will be keeping all the modules related to the project. So here I am creating a new folder again, that is login module. So it will simply add some sort of modularity in our project. I'm creating new file for the login component, index.js, so that it's a JavaScript file. And inside this JavaScript file, what I can do is, I can simply create the login component. Okay, so it's here. Yeah, now the code is formatted. Now what I can do is, I can simply return the UI. What I can do is, I can simply create a container for the UI of this. So const container for this, and I will be using the style components, style.div for the container. And again, like if you are confused with the UI part, so yeah, I am not the expert of the UI as well. So for the UI, you can always refer to this repository. Like I'll be pushing my code to this repository itself, so that you can simply go to the client and the source, and in the modules you will find all this styling. So for the styling, I will use some predefined properties, that is, display flex direction is column, because we need to create this. Width is 100%, background color is something like this. This is a sort of black color, that is yeah, you can see it here. Okay, so that's it. Like we can have the container like this, and inside this container I just need to create container, and inside this container, if I can keep this for as of now, and instead of this app component here, what I wanted to do is, I just wanted to keep my login component in the index file, so that if I am login, then only the app component will be selected. So inside the modules, I just wanted to use login, and yeah, login will be called directly. I just need to export this, so I just need to write export default on this login component, so that is visible at our end. Login component, I just need to save, and if I can open that on, yeah, 3000 is here, background color is here, I guess. If I can check inside the div, yeah, we are having that property. As of now the color is, you know, the black as well, that's why it's not visible. If I can write the color as white, then we will see that yeah, this is here. So now what we need to do is we just need to create a header, and then we will create a card view, and after what we will be doing, we will be having this sort of, you know, image, the QR code image that you can also find from the repository as well. Then after we will be like integrating with this sign in with Google functionality. So as of now what I need to do is I just need to create a header. So for that header, again, I just need some sort of styling. For that styling, if you can compare, then this is a green kind of color, and in that we need a, you know, text which is in white color, and you know, bold in styling. So I'm having this property header, and inside header what we can do is header, and inside header if I just wanted to write the name, that is WhatsApp clone, WhatsApp web clone. So let's see, yeah, that header is here, and we have defined, you know, the padding and everything which is required. So that is here. Now what we need is we just need to create this card view, which will be like around some sort of negative margin we can provide, or you can play around with position absolute as well. So I'll be doing it very simple by providing some sort of, you know, styling, and again the styling you can find on the GitHub repository. The box shadow is there for the card kind of look and feel. The padding is there, margin left and right is auto, so that it is in the center of the page, and margin top, as I have defined, negative. And apart from that, you know, the background color I have defined, and some flex properties are there. So yes, if we can go and refresh, okay, so that is not there. Okay, so we haven't used that till now. So what I'll be doing is I will be using this card view. Inside that I am just writing this. So yeah, the card view is there, and as we know the data is not there, that's why it's looking little small. So for the instructions what we can do is like if we can have a look on this. So inside this card view we are having two different things. One is instruction and the another one is QR code. So QR code is just an image, and for this instruction we can create a div for this. So let me close this. Okay, so container is there, header is there, and card view is there. So now what I can do is I can create the instruction kind of style component, that will be a div. Okay, and other than that what I can do is I can simply create a QR code. Okay, and it will be an image tag. Okay, fine. So for QR code we can define some sort of properties like what will be the width and height. So width and height is here, and similarly for, you know, instructions we can define some sort of stuff like some padding on the font size. So I can keep them here as well. Padding is here. Okay, padding is here, QR code is defined. So what I can do is inside this card view I can simply go with the instructions first, instructions, and other than that what I can do is I can simply have this QR code. Okay, and QR code is an image, so we just need to provide the source URL for that. And as of now what I'll be doing, I'll be simply copying the QR code image to a placeholder in the directory itself. So in the public we can keep it inside. Okay, I just need to copy it from my file directory. Let me see where it is available. Here, reveal in the finder. So here what I can do is I can simply paste that you know, QR placeholder is there. I can keep it inside WhatsApp clone as well, so that it is visible on GitHub side as well. Now I can simply provide the URL of the source string of this. Okay, so let's see if that's visible on the website. Okay, it is visible. Now we just need to work on the instructions, and if I can look at the instruction, this is the heading of the instruction and this is some ordered list. Okay, so let's do it inside the instructions. Let me close this and format my document. Okay, so the formatting is done. Now what I can do is inside the instructions I can have the heading, another heading which will have some sort of property, that is the font size of this is different from this, so I can create a component inside the instructions. Okay, so this is the heading property, and heading I can keep it here, heading, and inside the heading I just need to keep this text. Okay, so the text is here. Now what we can do is like we can define the instructions as well, and that instruction is the ordered list. So what we can do is we can simply create the ordered list for the same. Heading is defined, we can create the ordered list here, and inside the ordered list I can define the list items. So two list items are there, so I can keep, okay, three are there, so let me copy this, paste it here. Simply I can copy this again. You can define any sort of text which is relevant to your login screen. So as I'm doing it with the sign in with Google, so that's why I'm defining the things with the like how we can use this. Now let's see if that's visible. WhatsApp clone is here in the ordered list. I guess I just need to provide some sort of things. Let's see if inside this is the div, ordered list is there. Okay, maybe the color is white. Okay, so I can simply define the color for this as well. The color inside the instruction I can keep it like this. So let's see, yeah, the color is here as well. Now we need not to have, so some sort of styling we can give, like the padding and the margin in the margin for the ordered list and the list items. So for that, instead of defining it in another component, what we can do is we can utilize the power of style components. We can simply have this kind of stuff. Okay, so let's see if that is applied to ordered list and the list items. Yeah, that is applied and it is similar to this. Now what we can do is we just need to add the that sign in with Google option. Okay, so for that what we'll be doing is we will be simply using this command npmi react Google login. I just copied it from here. What I can do is I can simply go to another page and npmi okay, sorry, so I need to go to client folder first, and inside the client I can simply save this and install this. Once it's installed, we can definitely use this this Google login button. Okay, so let's see once it's done. Okay, so it's done, like the dependency has been installed, and now I think we can use this. For that we just need to import this Google login for the form for the login button. Okay, and for this Google login we are going with a minimal code snippet, and we can keep it inside instructions. Instruction Google login is here, response Google is not defined. Okay, so we just need to create a method that will be responsible for handling the response from Google. We can name it better, I guess, handle a response from Google. Yeah, handle response from Google will be fine. I can keep it here. Okay, so client ID is like we will not be using the hardcode client ID. We will be going to the Google Cloud Console, and from here I can copy my OAuth ID and I can simply keep it here. Okay, now let's see if that's working. That button is there. Okay, so that button text we can always change to this sign in with Google. Now let's see if that button is visible. Okay, so the button is visible. Now we can test it. If I can inspect as well, so that if there is any error we can identify. Let me refresh. So if I am click on this, you can definitely see my all the accounts login with this. And for the response, just testing the response, what we can do is we can have this the response data. So as of now I can console this data. Okay, so whatever the stuff we are receiving from the from Google, we will be able to see in the console. So let's click on sign in, and I'm signing with my account. One moment, and yeah, now we are having some sort of information from Google itself. So inside the token object, and we just need this profile object so that we can have all the information about this user. So what I will be doing is I will be using this profile object. Okay, this profile object is fine. Now what we can do is we can have the state of this application, and that is for user info. So we'll be using the user state from React itself, and this state will be responsible for holding the data as of now, because we don't have any sort of Redux or cookies integration into our project. So what I'll be doing is I'll be setting this information, user info, and let me remove this. And once we are having the user info, so what we can do is, what I was thinking is, if we can have the React fragment, and inside this React fragment, if we can have, okay, so if we can have this condition that if the user info is available, then we need to show the app folder or the app.js file where all the logic will be there. And if that's not there, then we will be showing this login component. Okay, login component, so all the code will be here. Now it should be, yeah, app is not defined. So what we can do is we can simply have this app. Let me import the app.js file here. App from app.js file is here. Okay, now let's see. Yeah, so the UI is done. We are done with the UI, you can see, and this is pretty much responsive, I guess. It should be, because we are using the Flex. Okay, so it is taking that inside. Okay, the wrapping thing is there. Okay, that's fine. Now if I can click on sign in, and yeah, it's returning data. What we can do is we can simply pass this user information, this user info, to this app.js file as the props. Okay, so inside this app.js file we will be receiving this at the as properties. So yeah, in terms of props, I'll be having the user info, constant user info is here, props. The header is inside contact list component, so I can simply pass the profile image, I guess profile image, to this from the user info. What's the key? You can always check the key from the response that you are receiving from the Google sign-in library. I can keep it as image URL itself inside the contact list. We are having this hard-coded URL, so what we can do is we can get it from the const image URL from the props, and if I can pass this to either the image URL, if image URL is not available, then only show the placeholder. Now if we can go to this, I can refresh, the login is here. I'll be logging again. Then in that case, yeah, as per the logic inside inside the login component, if the user info is there, the application is switched to this app folder, like this app file, and inside this app file we are having all the logic over there, and we have passed this image URL to this component as well. So my image of my profile picture, which is on my Google account, is already visible here. Now, like, we are done with the sign-in part. Now in the next video, what we can do is we can simply start working on this search feature, and yeah, search feature should work. But if we can have a look to keep that information in our DB, we still need to use this API. That is, if I can go to the server, let me close this client, and if I can go to the server, inside the routes I am having this user API. So this create user API should work so that we can keep the user inside our model. Here we just need to apply one check, that if user is already available, then we need not to save the data again, so that like in order to search any other user, that user should in our database. Okay, so that's the thing that we will be doing in the next video. Till then, if you guys enjoyed this video of sign in with Google functionality, then please make sure to like this video. The target for this video is only 30 likes, as we are like returning after a long time. So yes, the target for the likes on this video is 30 likes. Please make sure to like the video. If you guys are new to my channel, then please make sure to subscribe to the Indian Dev. Thank you for watching this video, guys. Thank you very much.